Hi Capricorn, here is a general look at your solar chart for April 2014, and what a busy April we've got astrologically speaking. There's some really strong influences affecting in the cardinal signs, but could be affecting the cardinal signs, and you are a cardinal sign, on your sun sign anyway. We're only talking about the sun here, we're not mentioning where your natal moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and all the rest of them are. So this month we're going to have a configuration in the sky known as a grand cross, which is 4 planets each on the end of a cross, making a sort of square shape in the sky. And this is going to be the alignment is going to be very sort of conflicting and tense, and we're going to have Mars on one of the points there, kind of lighting the fuse really. So it's going to be the ongoing change and upset and disruption that we've been getting from Uranus and Pluto for several years now, which have been kind of breaking down and unraveling the systems that we've got across our world. But also it's, you know, changing the way, well, the programs we're running in our own little private personal lives. And actually, I shouldn't have said little because it's big for us. And in this configuration, we've got Mars, and Mars is really, you know, the trigger here. So, but Mars is going to be retrograde, and because of that, I would say that if there is something very important that you want to launch or initiate during this month, I would, if you can possibly manage it, hold off until from May the 20th. Because Mars in reverse means that things might be fraught with delays, or, you know, you just got to modify the thing and it might drag on. If it's, you've got to throw the gauntlet down to someone, you've got to confront someone, then try to make it, and I know these things are often kind of in the moment, very immediate, but try to make it like the major move from May the 20th, and don't initiate it at all. Maybe you can kind of get them to kick the thing off, because then if they have made that first gesture, then they will probably be subject to these delays that I've been talking about. Now, we're having a solar eclipse as well. That's going to be in Taurus in a very good angle to your sun sign, and that's happening on the 29th. So I'll come back to that in a moment. But what I want to say about this kind of pressure cooker aspect of the Grand Cross were these very conflicting, well, the energies in themselves aren't conflicting, but it's the angle they are aligning to each other, which is the conflicting one, and it's very tense. There is one beautiful shining light here, and she is, you know, the that beautiful light in the sky, the evening star. Can be the morning star as well, and that's Venus. And Venus is going to be moving into Pisces from the 6th in a really good angle to your sun sign. And here in Pisces, she finds her empathy, her sensitivity, her kindness. And this could be, you know, I've said on other forecasts, this is kind of the get out of jail free card, because it can work out like that if you were to go with the flow of where Venus is going to be in April in your chart, which I'll explain in a moment. Then it can make things so much better if you do find yourself in the thick of it, or indeed if you're with others who are in the thick of it, because it might not be affecting you directly that much. Venus in Pisces flags up our commonalities, not our differences, and it is about time we started to really take that on board, that we're all here with our feet on the same earth, under the same sky, on this starship Earth, and really we ought to stop bickering with each other. And Venus is going to be in a place where she will bestow grace, ease and flow to whatever you wish to convey, communicate, articulate, and also you will feel that coming back to you. You should do. The planets do not compel, they only incline, but the inclination of Venus there is that you would get this softer side in your communications. So more on that in a moment. I've made a separate video about all the Grand Cross sort of idea, well, my idea anyway, about how the Grand Cross might be working. But to get on with other things, at the end of March, on the 30th, there was a lunar eclipse, which will be unfurling its leaves over the month of April in the background. It did line up with Uranus, Pluto, and Jupiter. So for you, that might mean that the foundations of your life need to be reorganized or just spring clean, really. And that would be externally what you've got around you, like domestically maybe. Or it can be internally, you know, or it can be both. Often they do go together, but deeper patterns could pop up and skeletons could be rattling in the closet. So it is a good time to move on into new growth. Now, the solar eclipse, which is far more significant than the lunar eclipse, happening on the 29th, is the moment for you to get active with something that you can get a lot out of, that you can be creative with, that is like an enterprise. And it might be taking a bit of a gamble, taking a bit of a risk there. Obviously, you're being sensible about that, being the most sensible sign in the zodiac anyway. But this is where you can really kind of open up and express yourself in a very creative way, or spontaneous, romantic kind of a way as well, or just be doing some sort of activity that you really do get a lot out of, and can get into environments which make you feel good, which empower you. And if you were to do one little thing on that day, or within the 24-hour period of the eclipse, then on the 29th, then that will be a statement of intent from you to the universe, and then that will the leaves of that one will unfurl over the coming 6 months. So yes, more significant than a lunar eclipse. Now, every year at this time, the sun comes into the same area, and for you it's your base of operations, it's your locality, it's your point on the map. So that kind of thing will have your attention. Property matters could have your attention. Buying, selling, renting, leasing could have your attention. Family matters could have your attention. And in some respects, your gaze will tend to be inwards, and you will be feeling a little bit more emotionally sensitive during this time, pondering things more, being more private, really. As the month begins, Mercury is in a very outgoing, chatty area of your solar chart, but it's also to do with education, sourcing or sharing information, media, etc. And it's a great time for making connections, learning new stuff, fact-finding, really, but also sharing what you know with others, and yeah, kind of, you know, sending off that message or picking up the phone or whatever. And then from the 8th, Mercury moves, and then discussions could revolve more around family matters, property matters. In fact, that's when Mercury comes into the same area as the Sun, and it could be about a physical space of some kind, but also your private relationships or relationships within a neighborhood. And there may be more ideas or talking about or interchanges with others, but actually can touch a nerve, because this is a more emotional area. Or maybe it's not like that at all. Maybe you're just harking back to the past on something. Maybe it is the past coming into the present. But whatever it is, around mid-month there could be an unexpected change, or maybe it is expected but won't quite be panning out in the way you thought, perhaps, affecting any of those areas there. Then from the 20th, the sun moves, and then there's this brighter, less inward vibration around. It's like, you know, you come out of yourself and you're looking outwards more, and that could manifest as more chance to be in environments you enjoy. You can be feeling more playful there, having a laugh along the way, and shining your light. You might feel the center of attention, you know. There could be more emphasis upon children, youngsters, pets as well, and also partners, and there could be more socializing and maybe more involvement with the entertainment or the leisure industry, that kind of thing. And and then from the 23rd, Mercury moves into that area as well and underpins all of that. You know, your thinking is more playful, it's lighter, it's not so introspective. And so that sounds like altogether a good thing as well. Now, and as the month begins, Venus is in an area concerning money, property, possessions, and assets of all kinds, resources of all kinds, and because it's Venus, actually you can do not too badly in financial negotiations, or there can be a sort of a buffer there for you financially or regarding some kind of asset or property or possessions. Did I say that? And investments made under this transit can, you know, turn out well, or negotiations can go your way. But you can also find yourself putting your hand in your pocket more than usual, because Venus's energy doesn't have an opinion which way she's flowing, you see. So as long as you know that the cards can be stacked in your favor in this very materialistic area, it can help you to feel more secure. And, you know, you love to feel secure. You love your safety. I mean, we all do, but it is really top of the list for you, Capricorn. And emotionally, you know, safer. And in this very busy time with this very, very powerful aspect in the skies, then that's probably going to be a very good thing. So physically, if things have been out of balance, Venus, the great balancer, tends to balance that out, but also financially or to do with property, if things have been out of balance, as I say, things will tend to get ironed out here. And any conflict over property matters, possessions, can tend to be harmonized with Venus here as well. And then from the 6th, Venus does move into Pisces, into the position where she's going to be making this very positive aspect, taking the pressure off this really hot, boiling grand cross aspect in our skies. And so she can help you to be very persuasive. So if you want to negotiate, if you want to settle a feud, if you want to just pour oil on troubled waters, you will be able to do it more effectively with Venus here. Some of you could be in exchanges with others who tend to say and speak out their appreciation for you, as a matter of fact. And you can feel valued for your knowledge or for the way you're coming across, you see. So if you're going to apply for something, then that might be a good time to do it. But throwing down the gauntlet, not a good idea. Also, you can be getting on better with siblings, soul brothers and sisters, anybody, you know, in your sort of daily environment. And you can tend to do better in a buying, selling, promoting type situation. And as I say, you can be more articulate at this time. Saturn. Now, Saturn's in a long, long transit at a very helpful angle to your sun sign. And it means that you can be more successful if you put a steady flow of energy into your group connections, into anything to do with the internet, anything to do with information technology, social media, anything to do with something which is a little bit different and unconventional, unorthodox as well. Plug away at that, and you might feel that, you know, it's if you've been feeling that a certain group affiliations or a circle you've been moving in isn't quite your thing, then this is the time for you to build yourself into a new hierarchy, a new social circle or working organization of some kind. And finally, you will find your place in the pecking order, but you really got to cultivate it. You really got to work away at it, and as you gradually establish yourself there, and that can be useful to you. Pluto, of course, is in your sign, and I can't stop without mentioning Pluto. You know, this is a really big deal, especially if Pluto is close to the degree of your sun, which you'll find written up on my website, and some of the outer planets as well, which dates of birth in your sign may be most affected this month. But Pluto, choices should be deeply weighed now, and you will have an array of options, but you're so hypersensitive with Pluto very close to your sun, and you will almost like feel that the hand of destiny is at your back in a way. And even though your logic might be screaming at you, and your ego will be in a huff, you have got to go. I shouldn't say that really, but the advice would be to really feel where that tuggy string is pulling you, you know? And it is about some moments of radical letting go in your life. Letting go externally, and also letting go of maybe an old plan that you had, or an old idea of yourself that you had, because this is going to be your opportunity to project a more authentic image of yourself, coming right from the core, straight out, you know, not through the filter of other people's expectations or plans that they had for you in their lives, or ego, but straight through from you to the outer world. And it's really powerful stuff, this. You will tend to feel more sensitive about everything, more touchy. There can be projections going on, you know, as well, where your kind of shadow is coming up and out, or there's little demons coming up to bite you from your deeper. Pluto is about very, very deep stuff. So, and you probably have more of an urge to have control over things in your environment. Anyway, until July, Jupiter is transiting the top of your chart. That means that this is a good time in general for putting physical effort into achieving certain goals and ambitions. And over April, you may feel challenged there, but also, you know, you are one of the tough. And when the going gets tough, the tough get going. You know, you are not a quitter. And overall, this transit could inspire you to present yourself maybe in a better kind of a way. And so you really got to decide you're going to do that. You're going to do something about that and make improvements there. You could be getting frustrated with bosses or other powers that be, or red tape. But if you keep, you know, if you manage to keep your cool and not be too hasty, because that's Mars's shortcoming, then you will make progress with the master plan, because Mars is a sprinter, you know, but you are the marathon runner of the zodiac. And until July, Jupiter is in a great place for you, opening way to new growth through your interchanges in a close rapport with somebody else. It could be, you know, a partner or a partnership. In a professional sense, it could be key close associations, and through them your horizons are broadening, maybe even to do with distant lands, you know. And others will be interested in your take on things, but equally you will probably be quite intrigued because because they are opening up your world, and you'll learn a lot through them. And that's it for April. If you know your rising sign and your moon sign, listen to the forecast for those. And also, as I say, you can find what the outer planets might be doing for your sign this month on DianaGarland.com, and I'll see you the next time.